What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and I'm going to talk today about how everyone is so immature. This is a realization that a lot of us probably have when we first enter the workforce. And, it's like you kind of thought that there would be a higher level of maturity. You thought that people would grow up, but it's high school all over again. It really is. And when you just look around, like most people have the mentality of like a 5 year old. They're very impatient. They want people to do things for them, and they have no ability to regulate their emotions. And they have very little empathy, and they're not conscientious of like others. They don't have a sense of like, well, we're all kind of here as a group and we have to work together, and different people feel different ways about things. People have different perspectives. None of that whatsoever. They just like kind of get into a mentality maybe at around maybe 5 years old, 6 years old, maybe 10 years old. I don't know, but they just get in this very childish, very immature mentality and just stay there. And they're not trying to resolve conflicts. They're not trying to understand other people. They're not trying to be peaceful. Just like they just want to go around and be some bratty, selfish, entitled child. And when you enter into the workforce, you'll realize like people are doing all these backstabby, petty games. People are just gossiping. And I can tell you, like, everywhere I've worked, like, I've worked in a very nice office building, and I have worked just, some crummy job doing whatever. And in both of those environments, it's like, it's the same kind of thing as high school, if not like, it's almost like a step down, where it's like, it's almost like you're having nap time at juice boxes and stuff with some of this HR kind of stuff they're doing, and with some of these trainings and whatever. Like, it really does feel like we're going back to preschool. And that's kind of, I think, what the system wants. Is the system wants people to be in this very baby-like, very, very regressed kind of state where they can't think for themselves and they can just kind of just robotically do the job. I don't know. I mean, a lot of it, I think most of it is people. It's a failing on an individualistic level too, of those people not growing up, and those people not overcoming barriers, those people not doing anything on their spiritual path. And I really think that's the biggest part of it, is most of these people have done nothing on their spiritual path, nothing to grow, nothing to develop, nothing to really learn who they are, nothing to really learn how the world works, nothing to really like reach for anything higher than themselves. It's just this selfish, low, just like, just kind of thing they got going on. And there's no real growth outside of that. And they think that the world is just there to serve them. And they think that everybody should just like agree with them, and everybody should see things the way I'm serious. Like, there's so many people I've talked to where I'm just like, what? And you talk to them, they just expect that everybody has their same perspective. They expect that everyone is on the same page as them. And they just think that like the whole world is there to just like hear their story and pander to them. And they think the whole world is there to be sympathetic to them. And they think the whole world is just like there to like serve them. And there are so many people that I have talked to like that. Like, I remember I had a job, like, I didn't have this job for very long, but I had this job where you like, you stand by the street corner and you got like a binder and you try to like get people to donate to like Red Cross or something like that, one of those situations. So I remember I was doing that, and I was talking to a guy, and he's like, everybody, these people are all a-holes, they're horrible, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I remember I was thinking someone cussed him out or someone did something weird to him, and I was like, oh man, like what happened? And he just, I went to try to talk to some people, and they're busy, and they said they didn't want to donate, and how could they say that? I'm like thinking, I'm like, if you were them and they were you, how would you feel about that? Like, let's switch that around. Like, If you're not working here and some dude with a binder is trying to tell you to donate to the Red Cross, 99% of people are going to just keep walking. You know, you included. I didn't say that to him, but I was thinking that, like, how does this guy not have any perspective? And again, that attitude of solipsism, of the attitude where it's just like only you exist and only your perspective exists and other perspectives just aren't there, you know, that solipsistic, egotistical attitude is so common and it's so casual and it's normalized. It's just like, that's just like how people are. And it's considered normal and it's considered like the status quo, just the way it is. People are not able to understand that there's different perspectives. People are not really able to understand that other people exist. They're just like, well, not really. Like, they kind of think, I don't know what they think. I mean, they probably don't think very much. They're probably very selfishly focused, which they are, but it's just like, how can these people be so immature, you know? Like, really? And I've seen so many situations in the workplace where people are trying to bully people, and you have all these narcissists and really manipulative, toxic people doing weird stuff. And I've seen this in so many different communities I've been to. I've seen this around a lot of religious people too, where just really immature and judgmental and really like up in people's business, not respecting boundaries at all. And again, in the broader world, around the quote unquote adults who are not adults, that their flesh has aged 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. Yeah. Some of these people, they are 70 or 80 years old, but they have the mentality of a 3-year-old. How could you be on this earth for 70 to 80 years? And I've met people like this. You know, some of my grandparents were like this. Like, how could you be on the earth for this long? And, you know, my parents are like this too. They're whatever. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but whatever. Yeah, like how could you, and I've met a lot of older folks that are like this. And it's like, how could you be on the earth for this long and you have gained zero wisdom? You know? Zero. You have no wisdom. You've been on this earth for twice as long as I have, more, and you have, in that time, you've done nothing. You've gained zero wisdom. You've gained zero perspective. Like, how could you do that? But they're, oh, well, I went along with the system, and, oh, well, you know, and whatever. You know, whatever. But these people are selfish. They really are. And just in the workplace, I've seen so many situations. Like, I remember at an old job, there was, I don't know what happened. This guy asked this girl out on a date or something. I was not involved in it. I don't know what the full story was, but somehow that situation didn't work and something happened and there was some big fight and a whole bunch of trouble and the HR came in and a whole bunch of stuff happened. And then finally the girl just got really frustrated and just quit. And like, I don't know what happened there. I have no details, but I'm just like, man, like, how did that situation get that out of control and that bad to where like someone has to just leave their job? What happened, you know? But again, you have these immature people and whatever. I don't know who rejected who. I don't know what happened, but whatever. Somebody couldn't take rejection or somebody was not able to like just say no and be like, all right, let's, you know, they weren't able to be like, oh, you want to go to the movies with me? I don't really feel the same way. Oh, gosh, I'm really embarrassed. You know, it's totally fine. Whatever, it happens. No reason to, you know, no reason to cause a bunch of drama and to like, you know, ruin the whole environment for everybody. No reason for that. But whatever, they chose that other path. And I've had so many toxic coworkers. I've had so many toxic, stupid narcissists I've had to work with. I've seen so many people just sabotage their careers, you know? And I've seen so many people where it's like, it takes them 2 days to do one Excel spreadsheet, you know? And it's like, what? It took you 16 hours to make a spreadsheet? Like what? You know, and I've seen it and it's like, that should have taken you freaking 20 minutes, you know? And there have been so many narcissists and people that just bring personal drama and, I've seen that so much where people bring personal drama and they think that's just totally normal and totally okay. And it's like, that the people don't know or understand like what's okay and what's not okay. They don't understand where the line is at all. And that's a very sure sign of someone who is, immature. They have no understanding of like boundaries or like what you should say and shouldn't say. And I've heard so many people, they're just railing on about like their wife or their husband or their ex-wife or their ex-husband or they're this or they're that, and they're coming in, they're just like complaining about their relationship and all this stuff. And I'm just like, yo, like, one, I don't know what the other side of this is. And two, like, I don't really think it's that's like, I don't think your husband or wife or whatever would really appreciate you coming and just like trashing them to like, your coworkers or whatever. I don't think they'd appreciate that, and so many people also, they do the work flirt thing and they're trying to like go behind the back of whoever they have at home and be super flirty with some coworker or whatever. And those kind of people always got someone at home or some marriage they're unhappy in or whatever. And it's like, that's like that's kind of not cool to your person you got at home, that you're like you have to pretend to be in some different relationship while you're at work or whatever. And you got to like play pretend like you got some different husband or different wife or whatever. And you just see a lot of stuff like that where you're just like, what the heck? Like I've seen people who get drunk at work. Like I've seen that one. Like I've seen people show up to work drunk and stuff, and whatever. I don't know, but that's just one of them. But yeah, and I've just seen so many narcissists who are just so dramatic and controlling and are just like so just like not willing to compromise on anything. They need to get their way on everything. And I'm just like, man, like how can so many people be so underdeveloped? And I've known a lot of these people and they have like kids and families and marriages. And I'm like, I know because like the family I grew up in was a narcissistic family and whatever. Most people's families are not good, unfortunately. But, so I understand it from that perspective. But it's just like, man, like, how is this idiot like what's going to happen with the relationship with him and his kids and stuff and whatever? Like, yeah. And I don't know, but like, also, like every dumb homie I've known, like it's a dude who's in and out of jail, or some dude who's just like, whatever, like they work this job, they do some crime on the side. Every dumb homie I've known like that, like half of them have like some kids, or they're trying to like play stepdad and that they're going to come in and be the stepdad for some other kid, i.e. they're going to be like a really bad influence, or both. Like I've known a lot of people where it's like literally both. And it's like, man, like you can't even take care of your own biological children. And then you're going to come in and take care of somebody else's kids while doing nothing for your own kids. And it's just like, dude, are you concerned about like your children's future at all? Like, you're not concerned about your own future, and your own future is not going to be good. But it's just like, man, like, just the amount of people out there that just have no clue, no plan, no nothing. And I've known people who are like successful and stuff, but they're still just hella immature, Like I've known like managers and stuff like that, and they're trying to show off and be all cool. And I've known people that are gonna make the $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year, but then, oh, bro, I had to get this Mercedes AMG, whatever. Oh, dude, we had to take the trip to Miami. Oh, dude, I had to buy this $1.2 million townhouse in the city. It was so cool. And then, oh man, I got laid off, and oh this and oh that, and oh man, I'm $400,000 in debt. And I've literally known people like this, and it's just like, you couldn't have saved any of that? Like, what the heck? And just seeing people, like so many people just got so much drama, and they're just like flying off the handle at people for no reason. And I don't know, and I think also a lot of it is that I used to be immature like this. I used to be one of them. And then I grew up, you know? Sometime around my like mid to late 20s, I'm just like, I'm growing up and I'm not going to be one of these people. And I realized, like, man, not very many other people have made the choice to actually be a real grown up, be a real adult. Most people have just chosen to be in this mentality. And like, now everything in the quote unquote adult world is high school. And, you know, these adults live their whole life like children, like these bratty, immature, entitled little children. And they're just like frozen in time. And I'm just like, man, like, how can you stay like that? How can you stay like that? Like, I'm 31 and I'm like, man, like, I don't know how I could like be like 40, 45 with like kids and a marriage and just being some immature weirdo like that. Like, oh man. You know, they got no plan. They're not looking for anything bigger. And they're just like so petty and immature. And a lot of them are narcissists. And, you know, there's so much just toxicity and stupid stuff going on. And, you know, I've had people, they tell me white lies, they exaggerate stuff, they just like, dude, like, I've just seen so much petty stuff, and it's like, I don't think there are very many actual adults, you know, I think there's very few actual adults out there. Like, as a kid, you think you're going to be around the adults, and everyone's going to be mature, and treat people right, and like, just be like, look, not all this drama. Like, no, you become an adult and I feel like the drama becomes worse. I feel like people just regress more as they get older and just become more immature and more childish and more, they just become like these like bratty children. And it's just like, whatever, you know? But these people are entitled. They're entitled and they're immature, and just like, I just don't want to deal with all that drama. I don't have the time for it. I don't have the energy for it. And man, people need to grow up. You know, people need to really become more mature, gain more perspective, learn patience, learn how to, you know, have empathy for others, learn that there are other perspectives other than themselves. But like most people, they're not even anywhere close to doing that. They haven't even started. Most people are like miles, and most people are just like, they haven't even started out with that. Nonetheless, like, work toward that, you know. And it's like, it's really concerning when you look at it that most people are just like really egotistical and self-centered and are just like, have not grown up one bit, you know, really. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. My throat is kind of hoarse, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching. God bless, much love, and I will see you all next time.